So in 2017 is when I hit my rock bottom. I got pregnant with my son and I was just really struggling to make ends meet. I was miserable during my pregnancy and I just was like, didn't have any plans. You know, I had a plan to do certain things with my husband to help us get on our feet. But, you know, after I had my son, he kind of chucked up the deuce and was like, I don't want you anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And he went back to California without us. And I was kind of left here to figure it out, you know, on my own. I didn't have any money saved. I didn't have a degree. I didn't have any jobs lined up. I didn't have a plan and I didn't have a car. I was crying out to God because I didn't have any money in my account, like none. Like I had like 6 cents in my account and I'm just like, how am I gonna do this? I told myself I could either go get me a job or I can go back to school and finish my degree while my children are still babies. And I said, okay, I'm just gonna go back and finish my degree because when I get my degree, I can make more money. I went back, finished my degree, and I said to myself, like, okay, now God's gonna permit me to have a job that I finished this. Wrong. COVID ended up happening and it just seemed like no matter how hard I tried, I could not get a job. Like I couldn't get jobs that I was overqualified to be in. And I'm just like, I'm overqualified. How can I not get a job? I'm overqualified to get it. Like a simple restaurant. I can't even get a simple restaurant job. Like when I say every avenue for me to be employed was blocked, it was blocked. And I knew it was nothing but God because later I went to God and it's like, God, I'm trying so hard to get a job, but I can't get any opportunities. And God is like, because I don't want you working right now. So from 2017 to the end of 2022, I had to trust God with me and my children to just meet our needs. Like God put people in our lives to just randomly bless us with money. God got me little positions and got me doing little jobs here and there to make me some money here and there. Like to keep my debts down. He got me some really good credit cards to help me in the in-between time. And he kind of just provided provision for us for these last few years, you know, and I was just so grateful. Finally, towards the end of 2022, God is like, get your stuff ready. I'm getting ready to send you back to work. And I was leaping for joy because God told me there's a specific job I want you to have. And he told me it was a remote job. He said that I would be under good leadership and it would permit me and my family to travel. And I was like, oh yeah, sound right up in my alley. And it was going to be paying me the money I deserved to be paid. But I ended up getting a job offer from a place that was just like so unlikely that I wasn't even qualified to be in. But I was, at the same time, I was still overqualified for the position. Like I didn't have any experience in that field, yet they still presented me the opportunity to work for them because they were like, we just felt led to hire you. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord told me to take the job. And so I took the job, but they were paying me less than what I wanted to be paid. And I was like, should I even bother taking this opportunity? And God was like, yes, I'm giving you the opportunity. I granted you the opportunity, so I'll make provisions for you to have the job. I took the job and I liked the job. And it was super easy. It wasn't stressful. The hours were perfect. They had good benefits. They just weren't paying me enough, you know, weren't paying me what I wanted to be paid. Then not too long after I started, God told me that this position would not last. And I was just like, well, why you give me the job if I wasn't going to stay here? You know what I'm saying? What was the point of me accepting the offer? Should I have declined the offer? And God was like, no, I gave you this position to make provisions for the next place that I'm sending you. I'm giving you this job to make provisions for everything else. But don't get comfortable because you're not going to be, this is not your permanent place of employment. This is not where I want you. And I'm just like, okay. Time I get paid, I always give God his 10% first. And I do whatever else he tells me to do with the money. Like he gave me a list of things to do with my money. Like, so and I'm getting paid, but at the same time, it's like this money not even mine. Like, it's God's money. Like, I gave him his 10%, but I'm basically doing everything he tells me to do with my money. Like, I don't have any money for, like, myself to just, like, enjoy. Like, I'll enjoy with my children. Like, we'll go do something fun, but, like getting my hair done, my nails done, doing stuff that I would like to do for myself, I don't have that type of money. It's like, pay, you know, the person that you're living with, pay me my tithes and do the rest of the stuff that I told you to do so that you can go the places that I need you to go. He told me that my credit score was going to open a door for me to be in the place he wanted me to be in, that he was getting ready to like upgrade my vehicle. He told me that he was just making provisions with the things that I'm doing now. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to trust you. And things were just going well on the job for a while. You know, everything was peaceful. Everything was just like smooth, like the commute, the day, everything was just like, I'm like, this is too good to be true. Like he said this job wouldn't last. I wonder why. Literally like a month into the job, everything just started going wrong. Daycare situation fell through. They ain't got transportation no more. They closed for whatever reason. Something happened. I gotta come get the kids, or it's just always something that's out of my control that's forcing me to leave work or forcing me to call off work and interfere with my job and like irritating my supervisor and the woman under her. Like I could tell they looking at me like she keep leaving, but it's always my kids. Like it's always my kids. Like I don't ever call off for any other reason other than my kids. So I could just tell like, okay, my kids are beginning to really interfere with my job. And I remember I was so stressed out one day. I went home crying because I knew the Lord said that this position wouldn't last, but I was hoping that I would be able to, like, you know, bow out gracefully, you know, put in my 2 weeks notice and just say, hey, yeah, I can't work this position anymore. I got another position, and just go to the next job, instead of saying, okay, I just got to put in my 2 weeks notice because I can't maintain this job because there's just too many things going on with my family right now. I was just like, dang, you know, they probably fed up with me. And I was frustrated, crying. And my daughter was sad because she's like, if my mommy keeps picking me up, she's going to have to quit her job. And I know she's really happy about her job. Like, I don't want my mommy to quit her job. I love that my mommy has a job now. I was just crying one day because I'm just like, oh, I really wish I could just leave this job and just go straight to another job. But I was like, I know the Lord took care of me before, and I know he'll take care of me after I leave. So I just know, like, when things started happening that were out of my control, that were interfering with me being at work, I just knew that was like God kind of reminding me, you know, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable here. Remember why you're here. Remember that I will be calling you up out of this place to go do something else. Remember to do what I told you to do with your money. Remember to do the things I told you to work on, you know, so that you can go to the next place. I'm like, all right. And the whole time I'm just frustrated. I'm crying because I'm just like, oh God, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of struggling. You know, I was so happy because it just felt good to have money deposited into my account again. It had been so long since I had direct deposit. Like, I was just so grateful to even see direct deposit hit my account, because I'm so used to seeing my account be in the negatives. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm so grateful that the Lord even allowed me to have this experience, even though it may go back to me not knowing where my next check is going to come from for a while. But I'm grateful that he reminded me of what it feels like to just stand on your own. Just like, God, I know you got me. I know you got me. But I share my testimony with this to just be a reminder, if you're a single mom, that God will provide for you while you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. Whether you're homeless, whether you're not homeless, whether you face an eviction and you just don't know what's next, God has you and your children. He got you and your babies. If you was abandoned, if you weren't abandoned, he got you. Okay, I promise you, he kept me from 2017 to 2020, still keeping me. And I was well kept. I was well kept. You know, he never had me sleeping on the street. He never had my kids, you know, out here hungry or nothing like that. Like, he kept us all that time, you know, when I had nothing. You know, even there was times where I had no help, he kept me. Also, to let people know, like, don't get comfortable if you know God is placing you somewhere else. Don't get comfortable in the place that you're at, because God could call you up. Do what you're supposed to be doing while you're in the place that you're in. Like, if God has you staying somewhere, ask God what you're supposed to be doing while you're there, so that you don't lose sight of why you're there. Make sure you're paying attention and that you're doing the things he's telling you to do, because he's using these positions to make provisions for ourselves for the next place. And I just want to encourage somebody today to know that God has a reason for everything, and that God is always bringing things together for our good all the time. And I just don't know if somebody else is going through a similar situation where God allowed them to be somewhere and then kind of like is getting ready to take them up out of there. And you're like, oh my gosh, but this feels so nice to be here. Like, why I gotta leave? Like, trust me, God has a plan. and it's all going to come together. And it kind of sucks sometimes because we go so long being without certain things, and then we finally get a taste of what it's like to have it again, and it's kind of like we kind of got to give it up again. But just know God has better in store for us. He has plans for us. If you're a single mom, trust me, he has a man for you. That's a whole other video that I have to do, but trust and believe, like, God has a God ordained spouse for you that will love you and your children. Do not be discouraged. Do not be dismayed. Do not let the enemy make you feel defeated. When things just aren't going right, understand that's just God moving things around for you. You know, moving things around for you so you can be in spaces that he needs you to be in. And it may be frustrating and restricting because it's like it seems like sometimes I can't even enjoy life. Like, that's what it seems like. Sometimes I just got to sit and it's just me and God. I'm just enjoying God, but I don't all the time feel like I can enjoy life because I don't have the means or the time or the capacity to enjoy the things that I would like to enjoy. So I try to enjoy the tiniest things, you know, until God permits me to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I have labor and I got fruit, but it ain't the type of fruit that I can enjoy. It's kind of like I'm storing it, I'm placing it in different places. I'm taking the seeds from that fruit and placing it in different places to make more fruit. And so just be encouraged. I hope this testimony encouraged somebody, you know, seeing where I was and seeing where I am now. Like, I'm still not where I want to be, but I know the Lord has a plan for me and he's been moving in my life in a mighty way. And if you've watched like my TikTok and my YouTube, you know, I haven't even started sharing all of my testimonies yet, but now that I'm out of the place in which I was in, I can start talking a little bit more. So I hope you guys feel encouraged from this. If you're a single mom, you are doing an amazing job. Okay, you are doing an amazing job. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're a crappy mother. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not trying your best when sometimes it's just hard to get up out of bed. Don't let anyone push you further into depression because they don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. Don't let nobody make you mad because you didn't make a full 5 full course meals for your kids a day, or because you can't look nice, you know, all the time, or because you can't buy yourself new shoes, or you can't go outside and you can't do the things other people do with their kids. Like, all they need to know is that God is working on you. And the good thing about that is God will vindicate you, God will validate you, and he will make a table. He will prepare a table for you before your enemies. So be encouraged and just know God got you.